Well, great to be here in Tamworth, enjoying a fantastic day hosted by Bowen Genetics. We're talking today about the future of beef. And Tim Lee, some might say you're more of a lamb man, but it's fantastic to have you here looking at some of the presentations that we're having about, I guess, the future of beef in terms of genetic selection and improving a product using science. And this is science that you guys introduced to the Bowen team. Tell us a little bit more about how that journey started.
Yeah, sure, Hannah. So I've known the Peak family for a long time now, since the late 90s. And 2019, Steve came up to the Wagyu conference in Townsville, and we were there. So Graham Gilmore, who's the principal of Taddykill, and myself were up there with Steve, and we introduced him to Professor Aduli then. And I think our introduction came about mainly because of the sense of probably the what-ifs for Steve with what we were doing in the space. So Aduli has spent the last 12 years working with Graham and his sheep in the Australian white, in particular in the same position of genetics and finding out what sets elite meat apart, whether it's meat, whether it's lamb or whether it's beef. So that was our starting point of the introduction, and we fast forward to today, and Steve's kindly put this presentation on today and had Aduli and Michael Crowley speak so far. And I think this is a pivotal point in Australian beef, but also global beef in terms of early identification of elite eating quality characteristics.
Absolutely. Taking, I guess, the guesswork out of a lot of breeding that has been done. And it's really exciting times for the red meat industry, as you say.
Yeah.
But Tim, tell us a little bit about Margaret Lamb and it's a brand that's going ahead in leaps and bounds, some really exciting things happening in your space.
So Margaret Lamb is 6 years old. It's been it's a byproduct of Graham and his boys' amazing work in this eating quality space. So the long and the short of it is Graham showed me some lamb. This was 10 or 12 years ago, and he said, look, this has got something different. It was around the fat melting point at the time. We fast forward 12 years. We've now turned a breed into a brand. So Margaret Lamb is the culmination of the hard work that the Gilmore family have put together. Margaret sits at the junction, so we were probably the first mover in that elite lamb space, so that luxury lamb space. And we sit in 10 countries around the world, some of the best plates, Michelin star restaurants, and we've just finished an amazing documentary with Qantas that's aired in their aircraft. So we've had a 3-year relationship with Qantas, and that's really helped us elevate our brand. But the culmination of the brand is around the fact that it's bred around science, right? So our melting point is under body temperature, and it's such a critical thing for consumers. What the next frontier is of eating quality, I think, presents itself in health. So as much as marbling has been the king for so long, I think the world is going to what deliciousness is. The Japanese are chasing oleic acid and melting point, and you look at the US with the change in the food pyramid. I think you'll see in 10 years' time, everyone will understand the value of omega-3 and the number of calories that they're eating day to day. So I think it's an exciting time, but Margaret's an exciting business. It's been sweat and hard, but I think we're on the cusp of really having some good news ahead of us.
Absolutely. I think there's definitely some real positivity felt in the room. A full room here today of producers that want to know a little bit more. And you guys have been a great example of what science can do for producers here in Australia. But the feeling is positive and the outlook is good. I think that it's really exciting for the red meat industry here and great for Australian producers.
Absolutely. And I think the exciting thing for feedlotters or brands is that our cost of production is through the roof in this country, and I think Steve alluded to it, that our costs are so high. We need to have early identification of animals going on to feed in the cow space, whether that's Wagyu or short fed programs, that actually reduce our days on feed and increase the profitability of our packers and our processors. That's going to flow back into the producer.
Absolutely. Look, there's many workers within this industry who are all going to come together to make, I guess, what will be a more efficient product and one that consumers will continue to enjoy. Tim, thank you so much. Looking forward to the remainder of the presentations, but great to have you here.
All right. Thank you, Hannah.